Hello there. In the following video we will be going through my 7th attempt at recreating wooden armor. The construction portion of this video uses slats created in my previous video. If you don't have any interest in the construction method, you can skip ahead to the tests at 12 minutes and 18 seconds. What I'm doing here is chamfering the edges so that the slats will lock together. This has been the best way I've found so far of reducing gapping. The drawback is that it doesn't work with a woven style of construction. The slats are shaped and ready for drilling. I'm drilling the holes every inch. On some of the broader pieces, I'm alternating the side on which the hole is placed. Every hole weakens the piece by a little bit, and if you place all the holes in one line, it makes it much more likely to split along that line. For whatever reason, I seem to forget to do that for all of the pieces, so it's only on 2 of them. Must have had something on my mind. The holes are all drilled. On to the next step. People from all around the world have used fire hardening as a method to improve their wooden javelins and arrows. I figured I may as well try it out, see if that changes anything at all. Initially, I try moving it back and forth in the flames. If you leave it in one spot for too long, it'll catch fire. Now I try baking it over a portion of embers. This doesn't go to plan and I end up charring a corner of it. If a bit of the board starts smoldering, you have to put it out or it'll burn a little hole into the side of it. The best way I've found to put it out is to lick your thumb and then press it into the ember. It's a lot less painful than it sounds. I don't really know what I'm doing here, so I'm just trying to figure out my technique as I go along. I think I get a good one by the end, but I make a lot of mistakes here and I end up damaging my pieces. I don't really have anything else to say about this stage, so I'll just let it play out. Feel free to skip ahead to the next section. This one's all the same. Who knows? Maybe you find the smoke billowing in the background soothing or something. I'm not entirely happy with how the fire hardening turned out. I ended up burning through the side of one of the holes. Now it's time to lace the pieces together. The holes are placed differently to previous examples, so there's a bit of confusion on my part as I figure out what to do. One advantage of this style of lacing is that most of the cords stay on the back of the piece, making it more difficult to be cut. And here we have the finished piece, placed alongside a previous one to show the change in color. A still of my testing setup. First shot a hit, that's a nice treat. The arrow struck a gap, but only penetrated about half an inch. That chamfering really works. The arrow split the board and penetrated about 2 inches. I switched to the spear so that I don't just destroy it with arrows. The spear strikes the split left by the previous arrow and penetrates several inches. The spear strikes a gap perpendicular to the grain and penetrates about a half inch. The spear strikes a board directly perpendicular to the grain and does not penetrate. Again, it strikes the split left by the arrow. It strikes a board parallel to the grain and splits it open. And again, this time cutting some cords. Spear strikes a board directly perpendicular to the grain and does not penetrate. I just wanted to see what the axe would do to it. Let's shoot it again before it falls completely apart. In conclusion, I don't see much point in fire hardening this armor. Based on these tests, it seems to make the boards more difficult to cut, but less difficult to split. As every one of my recreations has been pretty good at stopping cuts, I see no reason to harden your wood unless you're working with very thin slats. And that's all I have to say about that. Bye-bye.